Now, friends, we've come in the 9th chapter to the last 3 trumpets that are blown. And these last 3 are separated from the other 4 by the fact that we have here the 3 woe trumpets. In other words, as we were told back in chapter 8, verse 13, and I saw and heard one eagle flying in mid-heaven, saying with a great voice, Woe, woe, woe to them dwelling upon the earth by reason of the remaining voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels who are about to blow the trumpet. Now we have here the blowing of the last 3 trumpets. And very frankly, we've moved into that which is highly significant and symbolic in one sense. But I want to make a statement in just a moment about that. But we are coming to a section that is actually weird and wild. And it boggles the mind as we read through this chapter here. So much so that all kinds of interpretations have been given of this section. May I say that let's get our feet back on the ground and get our heads screwed on right. And if we do, we'll find out that the things that are mentioned here ought not to frighten you. If you're a child of God, you're not going through these things. This is not the blessed hope of the church to endure the things that are mentioned here. This is a Christ-rejecting world. The church has been taken out of the world, and these things are to happen in the great tribulation period. John has made it very clear that he's speaking concerning that period in this particular section, and the blowing of these 7 trumpets. Now we come to these last 3. These woes mark the deepest darkness and the most painful intensity of the Great Tribulation period. And this is generally associated with the last 3.5 years of the 70th week of Daniel, which is the Great Tribulation period. And these will be the blackest days in human history. Now, the language used in this section is admittedly the most difficult of interpretation. This does not preclude our policy of following the literal line, even when the figures adopted are the most vivid and wild. If another interpretation is proper, John will furnish us the key. So with that thought in mind, knowing where this fits in, and knowing that we should be very careful in our interpretation, we move now into this chapter here. Now, will you note, verse 1, and I'm reading, as usual, my translation, which I cannot sincerely recommend to anyone. I still say the authorized version is the best that we have with notes. Now, I know I sound like a square, and the reason I sound like a square is because I am a square, and that's better than going in circles, especially in this